Honorable Nana Ofori also PPP National Chairman. Chairman Akwaba. Na efie ye fine there. Yes.
I want to know by you mukaka na zena. I'm the baby won't come over. There are some good news to be on the horizon. Yeah, I am the dog. But there says BBR that's so poor. And she say no credible pay. Into honor your one.
Who can daily guide front page? Papa syndrome wins US suit. And I can was I'm so about maybe so. Kakrabina yanko adai.
Yeah. First of all, daily guide. War coverage of shoot na US, on your proportionate to what negative, wicked, sparing of the same law case, also over USC. What the 4 days? It was front page by itself for 4 days, continuous. Now, I didn't know, we didn't know what the import of it in that cluster, so many stories, and that Shahonum Kakari. The whole front page. Oh, yeah, this story.
Now, your editorial policy.
The entire front, what editorial policy, Unya, we'll call 4 days straight, we'll call 4 days straight against the same US issue. In any case, should have to the loan, I'm not putting without any other issue on the front page. Because daily guide, you owe us. And when there no query bad, no query critical. The truth does not need address rehearsal. No query critical. Will you sue? And maybe will you sue a friend a RICO Act? I don't know what they say. Al Capone now. All these mafia entities are over US. Breaking the cartel. RICO Act was for the cartel. Then these wicked people, Brim Group, also a Brim Group was only one person in the group. Brim Group, there's only one employee. It's in the court records. Now these people intentionally, wickedly manufacture series of accusations, wicked lies. But they forget that in the court of law, or a court of records, in some Kenya, you must prove. One of the statements from the judge in dismissing this case, in its entirety, the story was so convoluted and they couldn't see what they were even trying to say. And they say, what's a yeda? And now, come, and now, and upon me, so shame menu. And a man then copedo ye bibi, and never who there, or call honor or conumusu, natural, or pedonia hodendeba, and of fire, and of fire. The story they wrote was, the case was a useless case. And I said it from day one. Okay. But the intention was to try and spoil the man's international reputation with the international business partners, because what ascribe a fraud and illegal transfers of monies. Look, if these things are sticker, you are finished as a person, as a family forever. This is what they put on the man. Very wickedly. Where Obi a lawyer with US. Obi a client with Ghana, Eugene Bank. Receive a ABBA. Wabi take over the bank. First set of payment out the bank. You in Ghana, you are benefited from the first set of payments. Gogo's first set of payment, you in Ghana are benefited from the first set of payment. Then this person comes to buy your debts. Also, what talk? They count 30, a company they will cut 30,000, will be 50,000. My bet talk with debt. Now, me talk with debt, no, me do say, I'm going to chase you US for activity in Ghana here, in Ghana's jurisdiction. The same person has taken it to the High Court in Ghana. The same case. Then you take the same case to the US. Then you add all type of useless documents. Look, the governor of Bank of Ghana should bow his head in shame. Because this case, he came to make a pronouncement in this case. Also, the courts in Ghana are slow and ineffective. Now, U.S. courts are very effective. So he was excited that Obi are taking the case to the U.S. That's what the governor of Bank of Ghana said.
But sir, no, Nana Mibao. Nana, Bajo Mizo. Yes. Minimza na woka Bajo Miba. Nana Minimza na woka and Kessben media is not part of what you're saying. But what what I'm telling you is this. Ebia, on that time, he made a statement. Nana. Ebia, he made a statement at that time based on the evidence available to him. Sir, I'm not a spokesperson for almost say possible, sir. Yeah. Nana Matthias, I don't make a choice. Sometimes a possible, sir, based on factor available to you. No, wait me up pass some comment. But finally, baby, finally, baby, finally, baby, and Amia Bedri. Baby, and Amidi, Bajo Banana, Nana Meba, baby, and Amidi Beduni say court no ebua. Indium wins US case. Now, I said the delegate see to front page. Now, Wabonwa, Titia, and it's presided over by District Judge Thomas Maakye. Say complain nearby FRDN Bank Chairman Papa Kosindium Hunyana no Yakano. It's a good news. Congratulations. And he asked him there. And Nana, yeah,
knows it. Okay. Me and I'm vice president of Group Indo.
Okay.
I am a vice president of Group Indo.
Okay.
Supervising over 1,200 employees.
Okay.
At the time. And in my oracle day, I am feeling this heat direct.
Okay.
Now we shall for next work at now papa and ye jume sa ona sa was it we kabia kugu abrochi naze on a channel a criminal naze ascribing all type of things to such a noble man. And then what I didn't understand with the Bank of Ghana, why I'm attacking the governor near there. This is a private case between somebody and Indum in the US.
The gentleman person say maybe I wouldn't get the opportunity. No, maybe to be fair. Nana Matthias, I wouldn't get the
era of liability and lawsuit.
Matthias, but I wouldn't get the opportunity to be a Minya Bank of Ghana, Minya Bank of Ghana, Mema Bank of Matthias, yeah, I know.
That the governor has when the governor makes a pronouncement about
Bank of Ghana for
and you are a player in the financial sector, and the government makes a pronouncement about you, or you're very damaging in terms of reputation. This is where you lay. You are a financial person. This is your background. Okay. And when the man makes a case in the US, not even a Ghanaian case.
Nana Matthias, Mesa about you. Okay. And Nana Ofori also PPP national chairman and Nana Bacho, I don't come a topic, you know. Bacho, Nana, share microphone, mame. Hello, Nana. Nana Bacho, I'm so we are the fraud and the minute. Nana Bacho, I'm so we are the fraud and the minute. Nana Bacho, I'm
just trying to say that I'm speaking from facts.
Bacho, Nana Mati, yeah, Matuas, yeah.
That must be established. And the people that I work with, that I was not able to appropriately explain the issues. And I'm saying that look, this is a democracy of liabilities and what you say. And there's a court of law there that will be. What Honorable Brian is saying, Honorable Brian has a background in security. Into the issues with the president's issues, some of them being secret, it's up to the parliament. There must be subcommittees and committees that when you probe on the information too, you can't hide it. But these are the honorable men and women of Ghana, representative democracy. There's a separation of the executive, the legislature, the judiciary. And if the legislature, the executive to come and account for certain things of the presidency, and they keep in secret, out of camera, and they go through those things and they satisfy each other with information, it's okay. It's not all information, nor the public. It is the nature of democracy. There is not everything out there that is for public consumption, but or they account to the legislature, because the legislature, no, or yeah, a check on the executive.
Okay.
On internet, yeah, Akuoko Kwarteng, ya friend the democracy, no. Oh, and to me, I support there. If the legislature, a subcommittee on the legislative body, will call executive to discuss matters of travel or certain pertinent secrets of the state, it cannot be so secret that the legislature cannot be privy to. Cannot be privy because there was continuity in government. Abiding banners or qua information must be continuous and people must know, especially the legislature. And so I believe that if what Honorable is saying is true in the sense that discussions be our public domain, no, in bastardizing the presidency or otherwise, no, irrespective of an impacra or honor, should not be so. But the access to information in relation to what the chief public servant is doing, you know, a in-camera subcommittee in Parliament should have the ability, when the executive, because yesterday, any party A is in power, party B will be in power. And so you have to have the checks. The third most powerful man in Ghana, according to your constitution, is the Speaker of Parliament. And the legislature, where him. So if the Speaker and his people wish to know activities of the executive, they have a right. But it doesn't have to be a you affairs. So as Doc has said, matters that deal with defense and what we have and all that, the legislature must know how much you have gone to buy, because they are approving your budget and all of that as a system of check and balances. But it's not for public consumption. It's not for public consumption. So in the US and other places, in UK and all those things, you know, they demand those information, but yes, in camera, and then you cannot come out to come and talk about it. And then you cannot come out to talk about it because you have sworn a certain oath. Yes. So in that regard, I think, you know, Brian, so he has a background in security. And he's good with these things. There are people that I like very much. He's one of them. The statement he has made, I think, is right in the sense that on your information for public consumption, but it is information for the legislative consumption. Or the alcohol, not senior people would say, Asama Ekana way. Maybe because they are there to check you. The legislature, you are accountable to the legislature as an executive. Even some of these interplay, I love it when right now you see the speaker wants to assert himself in certain issues, and there is an interplay between the executive and the legislature. It is building democracy. Or ye bibia oma ye democracy no konenyim otu or impuntu obem. Because the former speaker, Professor Michael Quay, before Obeye speaker, and I quote, direct quote, also the power of the executive is so much so that it controls the sitting arrangement in Parliament. That is the power of the executive, our form of democracy. Until it gets to a point that, or they check the legislative, or they was setting, or check one, now we'll make sure that some of these issues are dealt with. So I agree that it's information for public consumption, it's information for the legislative function, for the people to be able to, for the legislatures to be able to know how you are spending the money and what you are doing, and possibly advice on some of these things as to how we can best do it. Because it's not about the persona as president. It's not about Nana Akufo-Addo. Yes. It is about the seat of the presidency.
Now, what do you make of impression AI to so politics kakrem Nanado the Ghana Sika high plane or two quine even though it's not about the presidency as a person, but in politics they are doing. Some people also feel so when we get the figure, if they are trying for some president also a protected public person. This is the figure a car or boy.
And I say the legislature must strengthen itself. But we check. Yes, the legislature must strengthen itself, and it's not everything, like I said, for public consumption. Because before I ever explain it to the public, maybe they won't understand it in that manner. All presidents travel. All presidents do certain things. And what we need to do is that, so if there's an issue of travel expenditure, plane small, big plane, how would the legislature want to deal with it in a policy direction or set something for all the people that will sit in that chair? And not just the individual. So when these issues come up, it's an opportunity for us to strengthen democracy. May run away from it, but the discussions should go on a higher level. And so what is the higher level? What is it that we think are reasonable things for in relation to the presidential seat, not the person? Because because once you give the person a mandate, it will business world. Let's say me hire as a manager. You have to go and do your business. You have to do your plan, your activity plan, and you have to cost it, and you have to put it together, and then you implement it. So you can't bring me in at the same time hold my hand and say I can't do what I think should be done under my tenure to do things. So those discussions, we should not sensationalize it. We making sure that we. You see, that's why my Dr. Mafu and his colleagues must be able to raise this discussion in the way on in a person specific. That what do we think we should do for the presidency, and what is it that we think that, because there are a lot of lapses.
Okay.
Back at that, fix the constitution, all that. There are a lot of lapses in our constitution. Yeah. That is room for a lot of things to happen. And so we need to strengthen all of these things and make sure that the relationship between the judiciary, the legislature, the executive, the independency of these institutions, you're making sure that we strengthen those independencies, and then we make sure that the relationship, because only Ghana can benefit. All right. When we are able to make sure that these relationships are strengthened.
Nana Ofori also PPP national chairman.
This accusation about the judges and all of that, we have sat in this country. They bastardize all institutions. We must be careful, because we call for arbitration. Okay. Then you're bastardizing the very institution. That means that the person is so cheap that his whole cost, the whole life, the studies, now all this leave a legacy for them, what build the needs in. Then you reduce the man to a car or goat or whatever it is. We have to be very careful. Okay. Because I believe in Ghanaian institutions, even though we have ways to go. I believe that in the judiciary, every case I've taken to court, whether I've lost or won, I believe that the people are fair. I believe that the people have applied the law equitably. I don't think it is in the best interest to bastardize somebody for work, because all right. So let's be careful about how we do these things.
Nana,